Hi and welcome to another edition of Tradercast's daily market report. We'll start with DAX. Obviously, Friday's pullback was quite severe and fast. The price action is currently testing this 200 EMA in 4-hourly, but also this horizontal support line, which could morph into a neckline. If this becomes a shoulder and then a head, maybe another shoulder, and then we see a fairly substantial topping pattern and the price action as well, but we need confirmation for that anyway. So going forward, logical support on the downside is obviously placed here at 11,615, 11,615, even 11,600, which would be a nice and round number. A loss of that level and a red candle closing below could possibly very quickly target further downside support towards 11,520, 11,466, which would be a trend line from a different time frame point of view, and also some fib retracements. Only a loss of that level and a red candle closing below that 11,466 in end of day time frame, so the full daily candle closing below, could potentially indicate further bearishness, and then further downside support could be located around 11,000. The other alternative is either a pullback and a bounce from these zones, or maybe a consolidation at the current level and then a rally could potentially target further upside resistance towards 11,842, followed by 11,943 and 12,027. And then what happens at these levels would be quite telling. We're going to see a consolidation and a further pullback down, or consolidation and a breakout. We'll need to wait and see, but these are the levels. Euro dollar, it's in a clearly defined downtrend from different time frames, weekly, daily, and so on. Even 4-hourly appears to be creating a rising wedge with two fairly significant points of interest. The first one being here, where is a 200 period moving average at 108.50, so the green candle breaking through 108.50 and a closing up there above that level in 4-hourly time frame could potentially target further upside resistance towards 109.28, followed by 109.73 and 110.45. These levels would be seen as a good profit taking zones for anybody who's trading this breakout higher. Also, these levels would potentially invite a longer term bearish traders to look for a short setups. The other point of control is at this low here, and also this rising line and this 50 and 20 period moving averages. So a cluster of things here at 107.39, 107.40. A red candle closing below in a 4-hourly time frame could potentially target further downside support towards 106.76, 106.50, followed by 105.84. The last thing that I want to talk about is Dow Jones. Obviously, we fairly similar pullback as we saw in FTSE and DAX and S&P and Nasdaq, but we have the sequence of higher lows, and I was pointing to this falling resistance trend line in end of day time frame in last week's weekend report, video report. And obviously that kind of played out. All of this selling happened at the end of the kind of a contract rollovers and options expiring. So we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see if this bearishness continues, and if it does, then potentially this rising support trend line could offer some support at 17,685. A flush lower and the red candle closing in 4-hourly time frame below that level could potentially target further downside support towards 17,600, followed by 17,547, and then consolidation at these levels is quite possible, maybe even an oversold bounce back. A loss of 17,547 and a further selling would be quite bearish. It would turn to be quite bearish, but we'll have to wait and see. The other alternative is either a sell-off in any of these three support zones and then a rally from there, or A rally from the current levels could potentially target further upside resistance towards 17,943, followed by 17,971 and 18,043. And these would be fairly significant resistance area. Some consolidation and a sideways price action is quite possible here, and then either a breakout higher or a sell-off from these levels as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. It was short and sweet, and I'll talk to you all in during the broadcast tomorrow on Monday, and I'll speak to some of you in a chat room as well. So thanks for listening, and stay safe, and happy trading next week.